Hey my Bliss Squad, if you're new here, my name is Nisi. As you can tell, I was in the mood for some Chinese. So today we're going to be using some udon noodles, some onion, some oil, some dark soy sauce, some chili garlic sauce. We also going to be using some sesame oil. We also going to be using some shrimp and eggs for our egg for young. Y'all hungry? Let's cook so we can eat. So the first step we're going to do is add our shrimp. I actually got the shrimp from Walmart. I use a half a bag for the egg for yum. I cut up some onions in bite-sized pieces. And also I added 2 eggs. I only needed 2 eggs because I was only cooking for myself as usual. So after I added the 2 eggs, I seasoned it. I actually seasoned it with some salt, some garlic powder, some pepper, and I also used some chili pepper flakes as well. So after I seasoned my eggs, I went on here and I stirred. Now you're not going to be stirring it the way you stirring if you baking scrambled eggs. You're going to do it just like this, like you're rolling it. So once you do that, I'm going to show you the texture that it should be. It should be this texture right here. You don't want too many eggs. That's what I messed up on before. So I usually deep fry my egg for yum. I decided to do it different this way, which I'm just putting about 3 or 4 tablespoons of oil in the pot. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my eggs. You're going to use a half a cup measuring cup for your eggs. Now this is why I messed up on. One thing about me, I am not a chef, so if I make mistakes, I'm going to post it because you learn from your mistakes. So I totally forgot this pot does not cook right because this pot is so big and my burner is not that large. So eventually I took out the other egg that's on the right hand side, and you all see in the next clip. So I had removed it, so now we're just going to make one at a time. So turn around, and then this is how it's supposed to look. So the next step is we're going to go ahead and add another one. And then once we add that, we're going to cook about 3 or 4 minutes. Remove the extra that you don't need. And then once you do that, after the 3 or 4 minutes, you're going to go ahead and you're going to turn around and you're going to cook it on the other side. It's pretty much like you making an omelet for real. You're just not folding it. So after that, remove that to the side. Then I'm going to go ahead and clean out my space before I start on my next step. The next step is the shrimp yakamein. So of course we're doing it the Baltimore way. So we add the pot to the burner. Then we add about 2 tablespoons of oil to the pot. After we add the 2 tablespoons of oil to the pot, we're going to add our shrimp. We're going to season our shrimp the same way we season our egg foo young. A little bit of salt, some pepper, and some garlic powder. Be careful with your salt because the soy sauce is really salty. So after we do that, cook our shrimp. You know, shrimp takes no time to cook. You're going to turn around. So here's our noodles. Our noodles are already cooked. They only need to boil for 3 minutes, not 30. And then you just remove them and drain them. So now let's finish with our shrimp. Then we're going to take our shrimp out the pot. Once we remove our shrimp out the pot, leave the same oil that's in the pot. You don't want to remove that oil because you need all those seasonings and stuff. So once you do that, we're going to add the onion to it. And the onion is also the same size that you use for your egg foo young. Once you do that, you're going to cook this until it's like translucent. And then you're going to add 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. Once you add the 2 tablespoons of minced garlic, you stir it. Don't cook it too long because minced garlic burns really fast. Then we're going to add our dark soy sauce. Once we add our dark soy sauce, and the ingredients will be listed at the bottom as well, y'all. We're going to add our chili garlic sauce to it. And this stuff is spicy. I'm not a spice person, so I use a half a tablespoon. If you like spice, then you would go ahead and use 1 tablespoon. Then we're going to add our sugar. We need the sugar to balance out the soy sauce because the soy sauce is extremely salty. Once we add our sugar, the next step is we actually going to add our noodles back to the sauce. I said back to the sauce, but just add the noodles to the sauce. Once we add the noodles to the sauce, we're going to keep stirring that. Now, once we keep stirring that, oh my gosh, y'all. Have I ever told y'all I hate doing voiceovers? I know I said it before, but let's continue. So I didn't like the color of my noodles. I wanted to be darker. I'm not sure why my noodles wasn't as dark as I wanted to be. So I got some browning sauce, and I actually put a tap of browning sauce in it just so I could get the color that I want. Once we add the browning sauce, we're going to go ahead and continue stirring our noodles, stirring the sauce into the noodles. Just like that. Now this is coming out the color that I want. This is so much better. So after we do that, we actually going to add our shrimp back to the noodles. Once we add the shrimp back to the noodles, you stir that all in so the sauce can get all over the shrimp, and just keep stirring that. Now the next step is adding our boiled eggs. You gotta have some boiled eggs if you're making the Baltimore way. So we're gonna add our boiled eggs to the pot as well, and we're gonna get some of that sauce all over the boiled eggs too. And there is our shrimp yakmi. Now this is the gravy for the egg foo yum. I did not have time to make no gravy from scratch, so we did some brown gravy. Yes, we did. And I actually put a little season to my gravy, salt, pepper, and garlic powder. Then we add our egg patties to it and let that simmer just a little bit. And there we have it. So now let's go ahead and plate. So first we're going to plate our shrimp yakmi. Put our shrimp yakmi in the bowl. Once we put our shrimp yakmi on the bowl. Okay, let me start talking. I'm going to just let y'all watch. I'm going to just let y'all watch me plate my food. Okay, y'all. Here's our Chinese food. Shrimp egg foo yums. I got that chicken from JJ Fisher Chicken because I ain't feel like cooking no fried chicken. And here's our shrimp yakmi. That one, I tell you, it's a 10 out of 10. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. See y'all in the next one.